You've been in the village for quite a while now. Tell us about how we met. I know you came to the studio to do something and then you volunteered.
I did. I came to the studio and I walked in and I saw these people on TV and I sat there for a bit and whatever I came for I did, and I went out to the person at the desk and I said, I can do that. And they said, do you want to do it? And I said, yep. So she said, well, you have to work in the office for a while. I said, okay. So I became the Friday girl. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Then I started on Tuesdays and then I went to Wednesdays. And my whole career has started.
Wow.
I know. I love it. I really do.
And you do a little gig at the city as well?
I work at City Hall on Fridays. And that was the same thing. I was looking through the paper and I was probably going through another life crisis. And I saw this thing you could volunteer. So I called him up and she said, she said, I need to interview you. And I said, well, tell me what the job is about. So she told me, and I said, you don't need to interview me. I can do it. And she said, I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And I was, and I love it, and they love me.
Wow.
Huh?
That's pretty cool. And then you're a big bridge player. You're very active in the bridge club in the village?
Actually, I played duplicate bridge for 17 years, and I recently just quit in May. And I've decided that it's time for me to do other things.
Such as?
Well, I've been traveling. I just got back from Nova Scotia, Boston, Nova Scotia, Montreal, and Quebec, and that was really nice. I'm going to be going to, my daughter just got a new job, so I'll be going up to San Francisco quite a bit, I guess, doing that. And in December, I am going to see Ronnie Millsap in Las Vegas.
Wow.
I just bought the tickets. I am doing piloxing. Mm-hmm. If you know what that is, it's
no.
Pilates and boxing. It's really, first day I went, I thought I was going to die. I came up to the lady at the end and I go, water! I was absolutely exhausted. So anyway, I'm doing that and I'm doing Zumba. Uh-huh. And Monday I started square dance lessons.
Oh, wow. Those are all in the village, all those activities?
All of those are, and I'm taking ballroom dancing down at the Norman Murray.
In Mission Viejo?
In Mission Viejo.
So you're busy.
I am. Well, I just replaced what I was doing before.
Right.
Yeah, I was in duplicate bridge for a long time. I was very involved in the running of it, in the doing the dishes, doing the this, doing the that, and it just came time to take a break. Mm-hmm. That's how I met you.
Right.
Yep.
You taped a opening for a bridge series.
Somebody that had been doing it for years, they decided that they needed to change. So I came in and with my little white shirt on, mm-hmm. and you said, now we'll have to do this over and over and over.
And you got it the first time.
And I just did it, and you went, whoa.
Yeah.
So
that was
then,
impressive.
I think that led me into doing some commercial. I've done commercial work with you quite a bit, and I think that's fun too. I think the whole thing is fun. Actually, I started taking acting lessons when I was probably about 6 years old.
Wow.
Laura Whitmire's School of Acting at the University of Washington.
Your secret's out.
My secret is out. Nobody knows that but you.
Well, now everybody does.
No.
Because they're watching this in
Anyway.
the village.
I started it then, and I probably all through grade school, high school, I was in plays and that kind of thing, musicals. Okay. And then when I got to college, it was serious stuff.
Right. Where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Washington.
Wow. And you came to California in the 60s?
I did. I graduated from college, and my husband graduated a year later. He was an engineer, and we packed ourselves into a Plymouth Valiant. Do you know what that car is? Oh. And we drove to California. We drove up to the gates of Shell Chemical in Torrance, and it was a weekend. Show you how naive we were. And went up to the guard and said, well, we're here from Washington and we need a place to stay. And he just picked up our car and turned it around and said, see you Monday. We thought we got an apartment. We thought we lived in Torrance. It was Inglewood.
Oh, wow.
We were, so naive. Incredible.
And the rest is history. You settled in and everything was great.
It was. So I got a job in Beverly Hills. And it was very interesting. I worked on lots of movie stars. I was trying to think of Patty Page, I know.
Doing what?
I'm a dental hygienist.
Okay.
Yeah. And I worked on a lot of people from Jack and Trotter and those people from Las Vegas. So I was comped a lot for things like that. And it was just fun. Got a lot of tickets to openings. And Elizabeth Taylor's dentist came in and I cleaned his teeth. And he said nobody was going to ever clean his teeth again except me. And he had me do her teeth too. Things like that. It was just fun.
That's awesome. And then you were telling me much later in life you found a long lost brother.
I did. My father, it turned out, was sort of a wanderlust, and I never knew a whole lot about him and that kind of thing, and he was pretty secretive and such. And it came up that I thought I have an opportunity, so I tried to find out things about him, and I hired somebody.
Oh, wow.
And he called me one day and he said, Sally, I don't know that much more about your dad, but I do know you have a half-brother. He was an entertainer. He and his wife were entertainer all over the world. And he writes poetry. He does beautiful pictures. He does a lot of things. And when we met, his family was a little afraid because he doesn't like to talk to everybody, and we talked solid for a whole weekend. It was really interesting.
That's very neat.
So genes pan out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that.
kind of felt like I found somebody myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was good.
Very cool. So I've been here before shooting a commercial. You let us use your house. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And the first thing I noticed were your little shoes, your baby shoes. Can you show us those and tell us
Sure.
about those? I thought that was so neat. They've been
Well,
preserved or something like that?
No, they haven't been preserved. These came from Texas with me. Everything in my house has some memory. I've only kept things that have some meaning for me.
So what does the future hold for you in the village and beyond?
I don't know. As I said, I'm in a time of flux, believe it or not, and I've decided to take care of my body and myself and get that together. And I have spent a lot of time in the village, as you said, and I think I've taken every class that's offered through Emeritus. But I enjoy what I do now. I do my TV things on the Wednesday, my City Hall, and I am, like I said, going on to try this ballroom dancing and things like that. Turns out that I'm not great, but I can follow. So it looks like it might work out well. I love to read, and I'm going to have more time to do that. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm always open for something. I'm open.
Good. Well, it's certainly a great life here in Laguna Woods. Couldn't ask for anything more, and you're making the most of it. I just want to thank you for letting us come in your house and spend a few minutes with you and learn a little bit more about you.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm not sure that I have an exciting life, but at least it's been a good one for me. And you're right, the village has been wonderful. It's a safe place, and where I live is a beautiful place. I'm really very happy. I've met lots of friends, and I even count you as one.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.